it down a little bit because we're coming upon all the area where we're going to be looking at. So I'm just going to bring it down a little bit so you see the trees as we're approaching here and there, and see the clouds moving up too. Lithograph that I'm about to show you was drawn from. This guy was up at the top of that mountain right there, and I'll try to bring you around to show you a little better here. It's probably the best spot for me to show you is back there a little bit. So he was right up there. See between those two trees, that mountain up there, that hill up there? Okay, I'll show you in a second why I'm showing you that hill, that mountain. Back to the clouds for a minute. I can actually get it real good down here. Oh yeah. So that mountain right there. Okay. Okay. So, it'll be on camera. I was going to say, just remember all the trees you just saw. You know, same thing with down here. All of these trees that are everywhere. Now, these are young trees. You know, you can pick out the ones that are 90 years old from the ones that are 50 years old and 20 years old and so on. And I will do that. I'll show you. I'm just trying to point these out to you because I'm about to pull this lithograph out. When I get over around the corner and look at some of these other trees. So, you know, we know the trees that are around here that are what ages, right? Okay, so, you know, we go to these trees and know 70 years old, 80 years old, 90 years old. We can age them all. Through this lithograph, not only can we age them, but we can, so here comes, actually, some of them, see that big fucker right there? Okay, there's another one right there. See these ones here? We can identify these in the lithograph. That's why I'm pointing them out as we go along. tree. Right there's in my uncle's yard, that one right there. So, we'll park this yard, look around. Okay, so we're here now at this area right here, and we're standing in my uncle's house. And there's a little bit of discrepancy between myself and the lady across the street, but the one that I'm about to show you now. But I'm just going to walk into her yard real quick. Hopefully she don't come out and get mad. But I'm going to show you all these. Now I'll note this building right here. I'm going to show it to you. And then look how this larger tree is kitty corner from it. That's why I'm thinking that the one in my uncle's yard is actually the larger one. I'm thinking that this one's going to be the one in my uncle's yard, but she told me that no, his house wasn't built yet, and it's her house that we're looking at, and it's her trunk. And I'll show you that trunk, because that tree was cut down a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half to 2 years ago or something like that. But I came over and counted the rings back then, and she was right. It was over 300 years old. So we're thinking that's the largest one, and so in other words, I was one house off when that happened. But anyways, here's the building over there. I'll show you. Well, here's the tree in my uncle's yard. I gotta hurry up because I'm parked in his yard too. So there's that one. It's pretty much dead. It's probably not gonna come back. So when they cut that one down, I'll cut the rings and I'll confirm and see which one it was. This is the other one that was across this street. It's right here. And also kitty corner. Oh, I think my car died. See where the building is? See where the building is on this? See it? Okay, so that's how I'm doing this. Alright, so when I came over to this side, the tree that I'm looking at doesn't line up with this building. That's why I don't think she's right. I think, or I'm not, depending on where the guy was. Oh, it's all buried in? There it is. There it was. So, but see where that lines up on the building? It lines up there. So that's why I think that it was this one and that one, which I'll be able to tell for sure when they cut it down this year. I'll count the rings on it and I'll find out. But they line up. See the edge of the building? That would be that one. And the one right here in my uncle's yard would be the other one. This is the one that I would be looking for. Now, this may not seem important to you when as I'm doing this. Hold on a minute. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I identified back then. I gotta get out of my uncle's yard because his neighbors are coming out. Okay, I'll show you why it's so fascinating to me. Because the rest of the fucking trees that are here now, I'm not so impressed with the age of the trees. That's not what really gets me. What gets me is that there were no trees before. So if we can go back 300 years, which this lady could, let's see if I can get this. This lady could go back 300 years, right? On her tree. Let's see if I can get my car angled. Actually, I'll probably do this. As long as I don't run over his tomato plant. Right there. So that one right there is the one I'm saying that was in this picture. In this lithograph, that would have been the one on the, matter of fact, the one on the other side of the street is the one that I predict is the one in this lithograph, and the one inside is the one that you're looking at right here. In other words, where the fuck is it? So this one and that one back there, see this one's dead, don't have shit on it. See that one back there that's still growing, it's on the street, I'll point to it when I drive by it. But that's the one that I'm going to say looked larger in the picture. That's going to be the older one, actually. It was larger. Not by much, a lot older than this one, though. Because of the way that building, because it lines up with the building. I'll show you again when we get over to across the street, because now I'm going to go across the street. But before we do that, you just had a fresh look at the lithograph. So what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to show you when the guy was looking down that mountain doing this lithograph, there were no fucking trees. There were brushes, bush, and a tree here and there, a countable number of trees. But when you look up the street this way, and you look what we see today, look up the fucking mountain, and look at all the fucking trees. So if he was up in that same area today, he can't even see down that mountain to do a lithograph from here. He would have to go climb up into a tree in order to even see past these other trees that are down here. Now those trees that you're looking at in front that are 150, 200 years old, they were tiny little fucking droplings. They weren't even nothing when this thing was done. I don't know what the fuck phone's beeping now. But yeah, the whole thing is like that. Now notice the neighborhood, same thing. Now, I'll take you up on that mountain. It ain't gonna make it in this video, but I'll take you up the mountain, and obviously you're not gonna see any of these things that you're seeing right now, because they're gonna be buried by all these trees that we see. So the houses, you'll see a little peak of a house here, peak of a house there. Not like it was before. Now this entire street that we're ready to drive onto was not even here then. But the trees that are on this street that I'm gonna show you, they were here. We'll go back up to the clouds for a minute so I don't peek in people's houses. Okay, so this one coming up here on the corner was another one. This was a 300 and something year old, I believe it was. Yeah, that one right there. That bitch right there. 200 and something, I'm sorry, 250, 260, something like that. Okay, now notice across the street behind that garage, since I'm pulling out anyway. So all along there, and hopefully I got my camera aimed at it. You know, look around in there, right? All along behind that garage and all that, because none of that's there in this lithograph. The garage is not there. The fields are there. It's all grass, fields, shit for trees. I'm going to show you the 7, 8 trees that are in that lithograph. Hold on. Okay. Same thing. As we're driving down over here to do this, we'll have to wait till you see this. Okay. I'm going to pull over here. Because this is where the lithograph cuts off, is right here anyway. So that's why I'm going to do this. Okay. So all those trees, right, this is where the lithograph cuts off. Okay. So I'll show you. I'll try to show you. Yes, I have circles around them. I have circles around those ones. Yeah. It's going off from the Uncle Street. Okay, so what we're looking to is the other side of this. Right here. Okay, right there. See where we just left my uncle's? We went down the street here. We went down here. We're parked right here. If I can get my fingers down. We're parked right over here right now, and we're looking across the way to this. See this row of trees over here? See this couple trees here? All this is all field everywhere here. Wait till you see this. This is a fucking park. The river is here. The river's right here. This is trees on both sides of this river are unbelievable. So back then you only had these rows of trees. So I'm gonna bring you in and on and show you all this. So that row of trees back there, you see them poke up behind that building back there. That's on one side of the river. Now those there, they're only like 90 years old. So the ones in this photograph, we have to go around and look for them and pick them out. Okay? See that real big tall one right there? That's gonna be one. See that big tall one right there? That's gonna be another one. Those are the ones that are in the lithograph. All those other ones, 90 years old, they're not even in the lithograph. They were just tiny little bushes, or looked like tiny little bushes in the photograph. Okay, so now today, again, no trees then, billions of fucking trees today. Okay, can't even, if you're up on the mountain, can't even see these fucking buildings from up on that mountain. Okay, back to the clouds. Throw a filter on. We're gonna take a ride down the hill, and I'll show you a couple other things. This camera shuts off quick, so I'm gonna probably end up having to stop and start this video. We'll see. It don't matter. I'm gonna combine it with another one once I get to the lithographs anyway, so it don't really matter. I'll just point out again, looking at the side of the road, all the fucking trees everywhere as we go by. See them all, see all the trees. Look at all the trees over on that side. See them all the fucking trees everywhere. Look at them all. Can't even fucking see the buildings anymore today. See all these trees that are coming in this lot? Okay. So I know where this one is on this lithograph, so I'm going to find it for 1 second. Okay, so I can walk down between these trees, between these trucks down here. I don't think I'm going to bother, because I don't want to unhook the camera. But see down between those, I can walk right down there. And when you walk down there, oh, see all those fucking trees? Okay, watch. Okay, so that one is, let's see, so what's there? Those are those three. So I came down, took to the left, right here. Let's see if I can get you into this. My uncles came around the corner. So again, same thing. 3 fucking trees, right? This is what was here for trees back when they did this lithograph in 1878. Okay, in 1878, there was 1, 2, 3 decent-sized trees there, 1, 2, 3 decent-sized trees there, and a couple of little bushes, right? So 100 and some odd years later, millions of fucking trees all around here in a town where there's homes all over the place, compared to at a time when there were no fucking trees, when there were no homes. So back when we did a lithograph and there's a home here and a home there, no problem. And I did have fun. I mean, I would walk down there and stuff, but like I said, the nanocarbon is much more important, but this is kind of related to it. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and do this video. It is related to it. Everybody, it's just another one of the fucking lies. I usually don't jump off nanocarbon to go on to other conspiracy shit, but this is kind of part of it. These trees that, I myself used to love so much and think that we were so bad. No, it's the other way around, man. They're sapping up all of our fucking energy. So you look around, right? And you see all these fucking trees burying these homes and everything like that. And remember, every time I bring you to this lithograph, or pull the lithograph up yourself, any town. This is any town. I did this everywhere. I did it on the ground like I'm doing with you now. I did this for about 10 towns around here. Ware, Palmer, Belchertown, Chicopee, Ludlow, Holyoke, South Hadley. I did shit on the ground for all those places. It's not hard. You live right there, so again, same thing. Look at this side of the street. You look at all the fucking trees, look at both sides, right? And then when we go to cross this bridge, there are 3 other landmark trees that I'll show you. I believe 2 of them are cut down with the stumps there. So again, look at, there's the river, all the fucking trees. Back to the clouds. Oh, here's my turn. Here's my turn. So right here on the right-hand side, I'm going to show you these next. So right here, you got 1, cut down right on the corner. There's the second one right there. That's the second one right there. And see how thick the fucker is to the fence, right? Hopefully. Alright, so up on the right hand side here, I'm going to pull over a little bit so I don't get hit. This is a bad spot to be stopping. So now, look at all these trees here today. Now there's the canal, river canal right on the other side of this. So let me find it on the map. Okay, river canal. Right there on the corner, got it. Yep. Okay. So where we are right now is right where my thumb is. See that two red lines going right there? See the end of the canal where we just took the right turn and we're on this street? Notice that there are, where the fuck's my pencil? Notice what we're looking at here. Okay. So this whole run right here, the two trees right here, the two trees I'm just showing you. The first one's already cut down. This thick one is the one that's still there. Now look at this whole fucking row. Until we get down here, we don't hit another two older ones. See these two right here? That's when we're gonna hit when we go down the road down here. But otherwise, all this other shit, and you can see the thickness of them. You know they only been here for, you know, they're not the 150, 200-year-old trees. You know, so in this lithograph, there was shit for trees here. There was 4 fucking trees in this whole row, where now if you look down, you see trees, trees, trees. Nothing is what we were told. Everything is opposite of what we were fucking told. It's unbelievable. Now, in order to start I'm gonna have to shut down because I'm already at 23 minutes, so by the time I get over to the other park, this video will automatically end because I probably could figure out how to use the camera properly and be better off, but I'm just gonna keep this on the right hand side until we go down to this park, because the park that we go to next, so if the camera shuts down anyways, you just look for the other video of the trees. I'll probably mark them A, B, C, D trees or something like that probably. So I'm walking, so I get this out of the way. Okay, here we go again. So down here, I'm looking at the age of all these trees, because down here were the other 2. Remember, there was 2 down this end? So I believe one of them's coming up on, there's 1 and there's 2. There's the old ones, those 2 thick ones that we just passed. The rest of it is all, looks like it's all 60 to 90 years old. Okay, I can't enter the park that way, so I'm going to go this way. Back to clouds for a minute. Okay, down these side roads, found all the rest of the trees in the whole town. There was only all the trees in this town that were in that lithograph. It wasn't the lithograph of the entire town. I'll mention that. But why the hell didn't you cross when no one was coming? You stupid assholes. Anyways, these other trees that are all over the place. I look down the street here and look at all the fucking trees. None of this shit was here. You'll find the ones that were here. See this one coming up on the left? See how thick that fucking thing is? There's a fucking tree that I found. Of course you're gonna find them. They're obvious. They're, you know. So the 300-year-old trees, 250, 300-year-old trees. And yes, all trees grow differently. So some may be thicker, some may be more thin, all that kind of shit. No doubt about it. So we're entering the park, but there's a lot of people around, so I don't really want to throw the camera down yet. I'm trying to decide which way I should go, because I probably could get to this, the point of this, if I push through. I could do it all in one video. Okay, no one's around. I can bring my camera back down. Okay, so all these trees everywhere. Now I'm going to show you this fucking park. None of these trees were here. This is the area where those rows were. They planted rows, and you can still see the rows in between all the other trees that are here. All the trees that were here in this lithograph, you can go ahead and count them. Matter of fact, some of the ones that were in the lithograph got cut down from right here where they wanted to do the park area. So where you see this park area right here, the openings that you see, because I was looking for the trees, I'm like, oh shit, they cut down the lines. No, they didn't. They're over here. They're on the opposite side. So there were some there, but they cut them down. So these were part of the rows. And that row of trees, and this, I'll show it to you. Hold on. Where the video ends. Right here. Okay, so what we did was we went across the street from this. We were just from that at that dairy store we were at, that gas station. We were over here, looking across. Okay, so here's the river again. Here's the river. We were over here. We couldn't see any of this anymore. Back then you could. Back then you would have been able to see it because there's no fucking trees blocking your way. Now on both sides, we looked at this side already, full of trees, billions of fucking trees, right? Now here's this side. See these rows right here? So you can figure out where we just drove in. You can figure out, because that was the other row, and you can come all the way over here and you can figure out, here's the loading ramp, which is up the way a little bit. I'll bring you to it if the video don't end. But these are the rows right here that we're looking at right now. So we already drove into this park, we came down here, drove over here, this is what we're looking at. So these rows are right there. Maples. After this bike goes by, I'll bring you around it. We'll see if we can make, oh actually I won't be able to do, oh yeah, I guess I can do both. Good, hold on. So back the other way. Those big maples in there. Those are the rows. And then the rest of this that's in there, okay, don't it? The rest of this that you're seeing, all these other trees, this is all new growth. None of this was even in the lithograph, not even as bushes. And you can see that for yourself. Just come and look at the ages of them. Look at the, again, you get to know different trees, how they grow and stuff. So like that one right there, that one's in there. That one's in the lithograph, that big fat fucker right there. You know? So you can get general ages of things. Another way to get general ages, of course, is by cutting them down and counting the rings. If you get lucky, like that other park I was in a couple months ago, no, not even a month ago, I think I was in there, I was doing some research, this back up again. And same thing with that one. Same thing goes to that one. So again, all these were not there back then in that lithograph. 1878, none of these fucking trees were here. The one or two here that are here and there, you can count them. So like that one right there, you know, you can go in and find that tree. You will find, especially if they're in rows like this, these ones right here, there is a row, you know what I mean, that was purposely planted, that type of thing. Alright, so now I'm going to shoot to the other side, because this other side I just showed you in the lithograph was all bare. You had only the rows of trees. You had those, whatever there is, 6, 7 rows of trees. But look at it today. It's unfucking believable. And it's like this everywhere we go. What the hell is this now? Speed limit? You gotta be kidding me. What's it supposed to be at? Oh, they built a new thing. Oh boy, everybody must be happy about that. So yeah, as we're driving through here, you look around and you'll see that and nothing is what we were told. It's fucking ridiculous. So that little runway down to the water, again, where there were no fucking trees anywhere, we're coming upon it right now, and we'll be able to see the other side of this. And this goes for every town, everywhere you go. Everything I did on this tree research came back to the same fucking thing. As of 300 years ago, the trees started growing. As of 500 years ago, there were no fucking trees. So it's provable. It's provable. You don't look around in lithographs from 200 years ago, right, and see trees that are maximum 70 to 150 years old, right? That's the maximum that you see for trees age at that time. So I'm looking across the river, same thing. Okay, look around. look across the river, because again, I showed you the lithograph already, so this video is probably going to cut off on me, and I want you to be able to see. So let's see if I can quickly bring you to it. Yeah. So this ramp that we're coming up to right now is right here. Can't find my pencil, so fuck it. See this?